Hey there team, welcome back to the channel and welcome to Deadland 4000. So this is, I was chipping away at this just between things probably last week, and I've been itching to come back and have a look at it and feature it on the channel. I also want to kind of get back to my roots and look at some really obscure stuff. I miss that, right? And this is definitely obscure. No one's going to know about this game. No offense to the dev, right? But I know about it, and I'm going to do my part to put it up on the channel because I think this is a great little roguelike. It's quite serviceable. It's got all the ticks in the boxes. It does everything right. And it's got a charm to it as well. So if you go to the graveyard, here's a couple of runs that I did sort of laugh. Cause of death, spider, blob. Yeah, right. Okay. So I've played it a couple of hours, something like that. It is your sort of standard roguelite. This seems to be the meta currency upgrade thing here, where you just buy these little bloody balls, whatever you call them, toy things, and you can see they're all unlocking there, right? Fungal creeper. I'm still not 100% clear. See, I've seen the flare gun. See, it doesn't say new. So I'm not even sure if this is adding things to rotation, because, like, if I've already seen the flare gun and picked it up in play, and then it's telling me this ice one's new, what do I take away from that? So I don't know. It might just be a raw collection of here's items and here's enemies, and it's just whatever. I'm spending money to fill out the achievement book. I don't know if it's necessarily adding things into the rotation. The game's not very explicit about that. Alright, let's just go a new game. I get a random name. Karen! Oh, let's go! We've got a couple of different starts. I haven't tried them all. I've tried the child, which is funny that you get this, like, sugar rush. The combat's actually, you have melee and ranged, and you sort of balance the both. Range is kind of infinite, but you trade with the enemy because it's turn-based. And ranged is ammo and reload based. Anyway, so the kid can get a sort of an instant turn. That's what that little shoe thing is. The hobo gets scavenges an item every 7 times. And I thought that would be more useful than what it actually is. It's not. Then I tried the agent because I thought that was a bit weird. Blue pill, red pill, what's that do? All it really does is teleport you forward or back in the stage. It does play out isometric, but it's kind of like, in a way, a straight line with a little bit of left and right of field. Probably best to call it linear. You'll see what I mean. There, fire axe. Okay, what's this guy? Veteran, critical shot, magnetic ring, punk, blood rush, cigarettes, druid, hiker. The hiker can camp, and he's got a backpack. What's this dude? Experiment, firefighter. Oh, okay. Look, I think we might just go the kid, the child, Karen the child. I'm mildly familiar as I show this off. And the mechanics of them is not very complicated, alright? It's not like you get a health debuff or anything like that. So I think you kind of want to run back to this door once you get a key, but I don't know. Got a little bit of flavor text you can read here. I found you sleeping in a pod. Whenever you wake up, I'll be waiting for you. Right. So essentially, we're going to be transiting this way. This is like a hidden monster that we can't see right now. You have food and health to manage, and every time you move, you lose food. There's this radiation component, and it gives you mutations, and I don't strictly want to call them leveling up, because they're generally just negative. So as you get radiated, eventually you'll have to just pick shit perks. There's ammo, and this is the attack damage that you do, and then your shield. So the mechanics are there. They're not too complex, but they do the job just fine. And this is my kid's particular perk. He gets a sugar rush if you consume candy. And we can see we start with some candy there that'll restore some health. We've also got some sort of like food, right? Even though it says corny sugar flakes, it's not sugar, not in the candy sense. So you can just eat like that, right? Now the slingshot, you can see down here, hotkey 1, we could move that if we want. But the one in the top right is the ammo that it holds before it needs reload. So your ammo comes out of a general pool, but I'll have to press 1 again to reload this, alright? Anyway, this thing's asleep, so it's not moving. If you step into the red, you aggro it. Looks like I'm out of range for my slingshot, right? So Bang, and then 1 again to reload. Or twice, you have to press it, sorry. Once to select, once to fire, once to select, once to reload. That sort of thing. Alright. And then if you just click, left click, you melee, right? But he also melees too. Well, I think you always get first hit. You can see I've gone through my ammo, bullets, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, so some of these mechanics aren't super forthcoming, but whatever. Scarlet's here to tell you. You can just hold down left click and off you drive. So once you get into the rhythm of it, it's not so bad. Oops. Right, so these are items. Candy corn. Cool. Hard candy. Your inventory maxes out here. You've also got like items and that. So if you get a melee weapon, you get that, and it will increase your damage that you do. If you mouse over this, it tells you how much damage. So the slingshot only does 5. But I guess it does have the range advantage. Sardines. Nice, let's eat them. Big food boost. And if you find beds, you can sleep. But like, that's about as complicated as it gets. This is what it can drop. So it can drop raw meat. Raw meat gives you food, but you lose health. But you also regen health as you move through the world. So whatever that raw meat, I can't remember what it's called, but shit meat. It's not the worst. Right? You can see it. Tainted meat. Tainted love. So we can just eat that because you can see our health's pretty much under control. Right, so this width, see how we got black edges top and bottom? That's pretty much the chat. Oh no, actually, I tell a lie. That's the bottom limit there. But you can see we can push out to there. So the channel is a little bit wider than line of sight. Right? We could try and kill this rabbit. It'll run away though. Am I hitting that tree? Oh, I'm out of bullets now. Good one, Scarlet. So you ultimately progress forward. Probably try and stay out of trouble where you can help it. You can press spacebar to skip turn. Though, I mean, do we want to eat that thing's meat drop? And then you sort of... Oh, what the fuck is this? Banshee. She looks pretty serious. Undying. Your health is unable to go below 1 no matter what. Soul Shroom. Gain Undying. Well... Do we know how much damage this thing does? 8. God, it seems strong. I don't know if I want to start that shit, to be honest. Off we go. Anyway, I like it. It's not going to break the bank or anything like that, but it's fun. And these sort of games, you know, your Vampire Survivors, your roguelites. All it needs is a punchy loop. It needs to be tricky and kind of engaging. And this game nails it, to be honest. Uh-oh. So what you could do, and that's how you play this dude specifically, Karen the Child, is you try and trigger Sugar Rush to chain multiple turns together where possible. Oh, that's going to stack. No, it's not. Oh, there's a 3 stack of that sugar there as well. But to be honest, like, we've been pretty under control. I don't really need to sleep here because we've got to be careful. Food situation is going to become a bit of a pain. I'm just going to eat all of this. Like, if we slept, we're going to lose a lot of food. Oh, that's radiation rain. I forgot about that. There's, like, radioactive rain. Burn when you're outside. Fuck. Probably could have handled that a bit better there, Scarlet. What the fuck? Roadway mimic. That's so cool. It's a mimic of a wrecked car, and it didn't show up, I don't think. All right, well, hang on. Do I have any candy that does food? As I do, yeah, okay. Hard candy. Let's All right, let's do it again. See that? We're getting two turns in a row. Nice. Got some bullets. We could use a better gun. Anything in here? I like this music, this theme. It's a bit Silent Hilly. Wait, who's this cunt shooting at me? Hang on a sec. Oh, it's a turret? What is that? Beer. It's probably not the move. There's a kid. Oh well. Oh fuck it hell. I'm just gonna use the candy to close the gap. Oh my goodness. Okay. We could probably pass time. You can just hold spacebar, and that's interesting as well. I really like. You don't get a lot of traits in that. They're there. They are there. We can level up and pick 3. But it's from doing research tomes, and they'll be like a 200 turn thing. So you have to sit still and read it, and you just hold spacebar to accelerate the clock, like I did there. See, watch if I hold it down, you can actually pass time really fast. But like, so leveling up requires you to sit still and research, and then food becomes a problem. Food's a big problem in this whole game. So beer gives me plus 10 food. Plus 2... Okay. I need to think about how I'm going to do this. I guess Yeah, see, now they inflict radiation when they hit you. You kind of want to avoid that. This bloke I wouldn't mind starting shit with. Just to get the food. Food becomes such a premium in this game. I kind of like it. And the biomes sort of have a, like, moving into this sort of castle-y area. It is sort of a fixed progression. It is procedural, but the order of biomes is fairly fixed. Oh, what was that? Aha, look at that. Time of experience. Yeah, so you hold it down. Bugger it. We'll drink some beer for food. Like, I really want to finish it. Okay, what's this? Tainted Eater. Don't take damage from eating food. Damage you would have taken is restored as health instead. That's kind of cool. Night vision, you can see clearly at night. Max food increased. Honestly, I'm going to take the night vision. Because the damage from tainted food isn't... Oh my god. Isn't such a problem. Look at them double teaming me. Jesus. What's that? Cheese, Gromit! Sort of let the health regen... Oh my god, hang on. So... We could afford to sleep here. 8. Let's Oh yeah, you don't want to sleep during the day, Roger. Oh, we've got night owl. Maybe we will sleep through the day. It's going to cost us in food. Oh, you don't lose any food. Ah, there you go. Because that's what I was sort of thinking. Like, what's the objective advantage of the sleep thing? Well, for game mechanics, it doesn't seem to use food. What is that? Hoarding. Drops. Oh, I think maybe he picks up items as he goes. No. Magnetic ring. 25% chance to not use charges when using firearms. That's unreal. So that was one of the items of one of the other characters, I think. There you go. I don't think that used... Oh, look. As in, it doesn't use the ammo in the gun. So, you might be able to roll infinite reload. That's actually unreal. What's he got? Like a little hat. So the loot preview is pretty handy. Woolly hat. Alright, there you go. Just gives us hard mitigation. Ammunition. Now we've equipped it in there. One shield up there. So you see what I mean? Like, it's not... I talk about this all the time. Like, it's not breaking the mold. It's doing established norms. It's doing its own twist as well. I think the way that the melee system is sort of a bankable, the attack and defense equipment, with just hard mitigation and a number going up, but the combat is a trade situation. So like, while it's bankable and an infinite damage, it's also, if you're not one tapping dudes, they're going to hit you back. And then the bullets for the range closing as well. Like, it's not the most complex system, but the way that it's a handful of systems that are implemented and synergistically work together really well, it actually shows a much more nuanced and informed idea of how to balance a game's design, right? We talk about AAA games that just add shit, mini games. I'm thinking of like your Fallout 4s with, well, it's been a long time, right? So I'm just pulling one out of my hat. But Fallout 4 had like weird NPC faction patrol stuff, and the base building was very much, okay, that's cool if you're someone who's addicted to playing The Sims and trying to make your own house and all that, but it didn't really value add to the game, to the experience, to the story, or even just the open world nature that people came to expect from Vegas and Fallout 3. Just a thought. I could be off base with that. I'm drawing very deep. I haven't played it since launch. I should go back. But do you sort of understand at least the concept I'm trying to verbalize? You find a lot of games add stuff to infer that there's a value add to the gameplay loop, but all it really is a bunch of shitty side mechanics that detract. So we're tricked as consumers, often by the mainstream sort of narrative, right? That just because there's more stuff there and someone spent 100 man hours implementing it, that means that there's more value there, right? And I suppose through that lens, you can't really argue with that. But it's not really a value add. If it's a mechanic that is a waste of time and that's not very well implemented and it's going to take away from it. Anyway, what's your point, Scarlett? My point is that this fairly obscure little roguelike again, seems to have the sense to go, well, we only need this mechanic, that mechanic, and they synergize. The way that they've implemented the melee, the range, the limited item system, the food and health interplay, even the sleeping and how... Oh, look at that. He bushwhacks you while you're asleep as well. Like, all these systems show thorough thought, right? Even playtesting to a point, which is, again, sadly, a tragically lost art now because of fucking early access, right? The biggest trick anyone ever did with the gaming industry was tricking people into paying for an incomplete game and spending their own time to bug test and QA test the game for free. And then all the developer has to do is make a Discord where they interact with you a little bit, so a pseudo-professional relationship. They take your bug reports and your feedback and implement it, and they're laughing all the way to the fucking bank because they don't have to pay you a living wage. Anyway, it's just cool. I know I'm gushing a bit, but this should be the norm, and it kills me that it's not. You know? Anyway, let's jab this bloke. It's all right with you. Can I go back to sleep, please? Oh, that's... there is a mutation. I might have to mutate on purpose. I remember a mutation that makes you dude just fucking scream now and then. There's like a 5% chance to just go, ah! Because you saw that pulse from... There's a grandfather clock in one of these rooms. And it's actually... It got me killed. Just because it kept aggroing everything because my dude just kept screaming. Oh, it's so good. Hey, there you go. Free reload. That magnetic ring is actually broken handy. Yeah, see, this is the grandfather clock. I don't think I can... I can't do anything with it, but it does things to my environ. Yeah, so this is actually really good. I really like this game. You can turn that on to aggro everything. What is this? Hoarding, radiating gaze. Every turn in the beacon's vision gives radiation. Yeah, he seems very strong, doesn't he? I've got some candy. I want to fight this bloke because it looks like he's got something interesting. It looks like he's got a sword or something. No, I don't need the candy yet. How much health do I get from a candy? 3? There's our mutation. Screaming urges. You have a chance to scream, make a loud noise. How could I not? Heartburn. Food grants -1. That's not actually terrible. But you see what I think this is actually fantastic, and I wish more games would do this, is managing negatives. Because often... The closest you'll usually get to this with a perk tree leveling up is you'll get a bonus and a negative, right? So it's not just an objective upgrade. So in this case, I kind of like that it's his 2 in this case, but it's usually 3, I think. His 2 or 3 choices of shit things, and you got to try and pick the least bad one. I like that, whatever you would like to call that, an inverse trait system. It reflects progress much more like into old age. Some games have tackled an aging hero. I can't remember what it was, some sort of JRPG game. Where you start out pretty much jacked, but the more you play it, the more shit your character gets because he starts getting older and frail, right? I really think this should be implemented more often. It adds to an RPG mechanic to it as well. I know I'm waffling a little bit, but just bear with me. I was talking about it playing Neo Scavenger on stream the other day, right? I like the idea of a character that has flaws. I don't really like his... to use a Fallout system sort of again in your character creator. Every character gets 30 points to spend. And everyone spends those points, and they don't really spend negatives. Why can't you just give me a character that has 16 points or whatever? Why don't you give me a character that doesn't have an arm? You know, like, force limitations upon the player. And I already know the answer. It's because people are fucking spoiled and they have to put their weird self-insert that, you know, that looks like them but is, you know, doesn't have a double chin, doesn't have a lazy eye. You know, it's like an idealized version of it. It's very weird self-insert shit. Why can't we just have more role-play mechanics? And I think this, you know, Here you go. Like, give us an option. You gotta chop off one hand or one foot. Choose, and then play accordingly. It forces you to play outside your comfort zone, but also you'll reflect back, as I did before. Actually, this is proof positive. I was talking about the run where my dude just kept screaming now and then, and it bricked my run in the end. But it was funny and it was a good story, and I will remember that run for years. I will. And it's a bit Henry Ford, you know, like give the people what they want, they'd be on horse and cart, basically. I think forcing this sort of negative shit onto people is actually a great way to value add to your game, truly. Anyway, we're gonna make him scream, and then we'll grab this, right? So what is this? Baseball bat. So equipping it gives me plus 20 health and plus 1 damage. So we're on 6 at the moment, and 50 for our cap. So there you go, it increases our capacity for health as well. Hey, and then the treasure chest gives you this. Wood bow. That's tempting. Radon dew. So it gives you more radiation. Oh, we're going to take the bow because you can have multiple guns loaded at once, which is handy. But it's just a better range, better damage, objectively better version of my slingshot. Like that. Knocks a turn out of the interaction. I love it. I love it so much. God, and then like we're getting some synergy, right? So the magnetic ring, 25% chance to not use charges when using firearms. So the more guns that I have loaded and ready to go, especially these single shot ones, because you can get revolvers and that have like 6 at a time, but these single shot ones, oh fuck, are you serious? You serious? That magnetic ring really synergizes. This is cool as well. Instantly increase your health by 5. What's this do? Cat food. Disgusting. Look at that. So I got a little bit sidetracked with a bit of a rant there. I apologize. We're up to this bog. But also, it's my bloody channel, my videos. I want to show it off. I'm particularly... You can probably hear it in my sort of tone and tenor. I'm particularly happy to be covering a more obscure title today. And I need to sort of go back to these roots. Oh, this room looks very busy. Let's see what's going on here. Shit. Well, they know I'm here now. Going through the ammo now. Oh, yeah. This is a good run. Oh, we got a tome? Well, that works out perfectly because I've got a lot of food. What's all this yelling then, says the rat. Oh, look at this. He's got little frog legs. Oh, shit. What a jump. Do we need to hard candy this bloke? No, I mean, he did some damage. So what do we got here? Night vision. Wait, do I already have that perk? I wonder if it stacks. Surely it does. Plus 3 night. I'm almost tempted to take it just to see. Defense perk is pretty cool. Gain an extra weapon slot. Oh, that'd actually be unreal. Extra arms. So another like sword or something. No, I think the defense is pretty much. It's small, but it's a kind of an objective upgrade. He's shooting back. Oh, we're out of bullets. Okay. Let's disco then. Anyway, I think that gives you a bit of an idea. So Deadland, 4,000. I'm just going to check real quickly. 14 bucks. Apparently, it's going for. So it's not like a $2 Vampire Survivor thing, right? But you can't expect that for every game. That is outside the norm, though. There's a whole conversation, mate. It would be really cool if we could get more $3 games like Vampire Survivors that show the industry that they could do it differently. That's another way to shift the price disparity between like indie and AAA. It's just driving indie games even lower. But at the same time, a lot of these poor blokes probably have to eat noodles for 6 years while they develop their game. So I don't think it's unreasonable. So 14 bucks, absolutely, this is worth it. I'm having a great little time. Again, probably not really breaking the mold mechanically with anything, but the theme ties together really well. And what it is doing, it does solidly. And the unique stuff, the sort of pseudo-linear corridor with a little bit of left and right of arcs. So I think that's actually incredibly inspired. It's not strictly a corridor, but you could run it like a corridor, or you could slow down without it being just bogging you down with side content and side avenues and all that. You still stay on the main path. You can just choose to sort of go at fast pace or medium pace, right? But not a slog. Anyway, obviously I'm quite impressed with this game. I think it's really cool, and for my part, I want to put it on your radar. And, go check it out. At least put it on your wish list, if you don't want to fork out for it right now or whatever. Help these smaller devs out. And let me know if you do like this sort of more obscure stuff. Because I have so much. So many things to cover. Anyway, team, thanks again for joining me. Might just leave it there for the time being, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.